Just getting set up here. TikTok sends out notifications. YouTube does not. I am live streaming on two places, on my TikTok account, my YouTube channel. So if you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. I'm about 40 or 50 minutes outside Philadelphia. Good morning, Noel. Good morning, Minnie. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Good morning, Whisper. If you're on my YouTube channel and you don't comment, I can't shout you out because I can't see you. Good morning, Tim. Good morning, Rulis. Good morning, Melissa. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Good morning, Anonymous there. Good morning, Sailing Rhapsody. Good morning, Andy. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Good morning, Health Warrior. Good morning. You're from Massachusetts. Welcome. Good morning, Dee. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Mole something. Is that what people call you? What part of the world are you coming in from? I live on the East Coast of the United States. I'm about 40 or 50 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Good morning, Let Me Something. Good morning, Monty. Good morning, Terrell. If you're jumping on, well, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. If you are on my YouTube live stream, if you don't say anything, I can't shout you out because YouTube does not show me who's coming on. TikTok does. Good morning, Mr. Malik. Good morning, B. Where are you coming in from? Love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Constance. Good morning, HSC something. Good morning, user 3827. What do people call you? What part of the world are you coming in from? Now, I'd love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, DWS. Good morning, Dracula Scream, just in time for Halloween. Good morning, user 328. Good morning, Gary. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Good morning, Gerald. Got Gerald from New York. Good morning, Gabby. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Malik, for liking the live. And again, if you're on my YouTube live, if you don't comment, I can't see who's on. If you like the video, I can't see that. I can see it when I get off, but TikTok shows me all of this. Good morning, Gabby. Thank you for liking the live. I really appreciate that. If anybody else wants to like the live, whether you're on my YouTube channel, my TikTok account, it helps my account out. Good morning. Is it Isha? What do people call you? Good morning. Now you just got a number 2 gift badger. Thank you for liking the live. TikTok does do that, and actually they keep an account of it. If you go up to the top of the live, it shows like if somebody gives me a gift or likes it, and it lists people out, number 1, number 2, which I kind of think that's cool. YouTube doesn't do that. I like both platforms. I've been on both platforms. I use both platforms. But TikTok does some things to encourage people. Thank you, Constance, for liking the live. And they do show me, I can see people coming on. So, and I do know when somebody goes off and they come back, I can see you. So YouTube does not show me that. So if you don't comment, I don't know who's on. YouTube does time the stream for me, so I know how long I'm live streaming for. So love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing and making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. Last month, September, was my 14-year anniversary in this industry. I haven't worked a job in over 9 years. I started doing this when I lost my job, which was 14 years ago in August. I couldn't find another one. Thank you, Constance, for liking the live. Good morning, Charlie. Good morning, Rita. Good morning, Won't Talk. Good morning, VR77. Thank you, Constance. Again, Yisha, was that what people call you? Good morning, Stacy. Good morning, Tracy. Good morning, Constance. If you want to know what I do have a free PDF that outlines a blueprint. If you come to the top of my account here, and there's a little bio, there's some writing in there. My website's in there, payudaily.com. If you go to my website, click the link in my bio. It'll take you over to my website, put your email address in. There's 2 videos, watch them, read the page from top to bottom. You want to get all the information so you can make an educated decision. You will get an email from me with a link that has my free PDF. If you click on that, you can download and save that to your computer. That's yours to keep. If you have any questions, and you can respond back to my email. Constance is saying, good morning from Florida. Follow community with no red hats with YouTube. YouTube is safer and Threads. I don't. I mean, they're different. And I'm on TikTok. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Facebook. I've been doing this a long time. I don't know that YouTube is safer. YouTube has just been around a lot longer. I got on TikTok in 2020. I've been on YouTube since 2013. Good morning, John. Good morning, Whiplash. Good morning, Pam. Good morning. Is it my boy? Good morning, Miss Doris. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I like both platforms for different reasons. I can tell you now, I got monetized recently on TikTok and I've been monetized on YouTube. I'm trying to get that back. YouTube's program is better, it pays more. TikTok has a ton of different ways. Good morning, affirmations. Good morning, fam girl. Good morning, Ralph. Good morning, Mama. Good morning, Miss Doris. I think I greeted you. Good morning, Renee. Their monetization program is better than TikTok, and TikTok is constantly sending me stuff to get monetized. And sometimes that can be a distraction. Good morning, Gerald. Good morning, Liberty. Good morning, Fred. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. About 40 or 50 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia. But I like both platforms, and I spend a lot of time on Instagram. One of the things I love about Instagram that you can't do on any other platform is when you post a story, most stories are gone in 24 hours. On Instagram, you can put it in your highlights and it stays up there. Good morning, Gerald. Good morning, Liberty. Good morning, Fred. Good morning, TG. Good morning, Becky. Good morning, oh, I can't make that out. Good morning, Lafa. Something. What do people call you? A lot of people, and I can't see on YouTube because YouTube's not showing me. Good morning, Amy. Good morning, Jars. Are setting up TikTok accounts, and you're not putting your name, or some people don't put a picture, and so TikTok just automatically assigns you a user number. It's a really long number, and if you're using social media for anything, and I'm using it for business. There's a lot of people on here using it for business, online or offline, or there's somebody that she's gotten on my live. She has a nonprofit that supports women who've been victims of domestic violence. She uses social media to get exposure, to get a message out. You want to use it's all the same, and you want to learn how to use social media correctly. Good morning, Jess. Good morning. Is it Jimmy? Good morning, Dottie. Good morning, Carlos. You want to learn how to use it correctly. Good morning, Baldar Perfume. I'm going to assume your account's about perfume. You want to learn how to use social media correctly because there's a lot of people. Well, there's over 5 billion people you can get exposure to. And a lot of people are not using social media correctly. They're just going around spamming people. You don't want to do that. Good morning, Dragonfly. Good morning, Rory. And if you're spamming people, if you take a link to anything, a video, a website, and you comment and put that on somebody's content, a video or a post, you're spamming. If you're private messaging people and you're sending them a link to something, you're spamming them. You want to get the permission. You want to ask them if they'd be open to taking a look at what you're doing. Good morning, Scylla. Good morning, House of Brews. Good morning, Donna. Good morning, Barb. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. I'm on social media. If anybody wants to share with me why you're on social media, I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. I've been doing this last month was my 14-year anniversary. I haven't worked a job in over 9. I started doing this when I lost my job. I couldn't find another one. Worst job market ever. People were getting 1,500 resumes for one position. And if your application made it out of the pile, it was amazing, like a miracle. Good morning, China. Good morning, DGen. Where are you coming in from? And I couldn't find a job. I was broke, unemployed, in foreclosure. I was drowning in $250,000 of debt. I had no idea how I was going to get myself out of this mess. And if I hadn't found this industry, I don't think I'd still have my house. So I'm grateful for it every day. I've had days in this industry where I've made more money in a day than I made in a whole month when I was still working a job. Good morning, Jay. Good morning, Catherine. Mr. Malik, you just got a number 2 gift badge. So today I usually am doing teaching something, and today I'm going to talk about the 2-hour workday and the blueprint. The person on here asked, that is in the blueprint. It breaks down, talks about the blueprint, the 2-hour workday. You can get this down to 2 hours a day. And let me turn this mirror off. TikTok automatically puts it on and it doesn't work. But You can get this down to 2 hours a day. We're all following a proven blueprint. This is my mentor's blueprint. She's been using this for the last 3 years, and she's made $8 million doing this. So it works. We've got over 56,000 people in our community, and many of us are using it to make money. So I'm going to break it down for you exactly what you do in the 2-hour workday. So for the first 30 minutes, you want to post free classified ads. Now, if you're in our program, we give you, this is the first step. We give you the website you can join. We actually give you the text that you can post. You can copy and paste. If you want to do this on your own, what you would need to do is go to Google, search free classified ad sites. There are tons of them. Find some, join some, and then you'd be on your own writing the ads, whatever it is you're doing. You could use ChatGPT to help you with that if you don't think you can write up. And good morning, Berdex. Is that what people call you? Good morning, the Midlife Market. Good morning, Alan. Good morning, Trisha. Good morning, B14Z. You can do that on your own, and you can use ChatGPT to try to help you write these if you don't know what to say. But we spend 30 minutes a day posting ads on free classified sites. It's part of the blueprint. And we break it down and make it really easy because we give you, there's like over 100 sites our program gives you, and then we actually give you the text. But you can do this on your own. Go to Google, search free classified ads. And then whatever you're doing, you can use ChatGPT to help you. Good morning, Archie. Good morning, KN Fudge. Good morning. I can't make that out. So anyway, 30 minutes doing free ads. And then the next thing, you spend an hour. And if you're new and you've never done this before, this may take you longer, doing 3 videos. Now you're doing 3 short videos. That's what you do on TikTok, or you can do it on Facebook, you can do it on Instagram. Most of the platforms now have real short videos. It might take you, if you're brand new, this may take you longer because when you start doing something and the more you do it, the better you get, the faster you get. But in the beginning, you may not be able to do 3 videos in an hour. And these are short videos. And I post 3 short videos on my TikTok account every day. And then I take those same videos. I take those same videos and I put them on my YouTube channel. Sorry, you're getting blocked. People come on here and you start posting nasty things. I don't tolerate that and so Diet Pepsi, Lemon Twist, you're blocked. I just put too much time into this, and you're wasting my time. You're wasting your time and my time. Good morning, Nina. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. And I'm sharing information with you that I've actually paid to learn. So this is all free value. Good morning, real time. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. So an hour a day, doing 3 short videos. You want to make sure the videos are congruent to what you're doing. Like if your account's about, like there's a woman on here, she has a nonprofit that supports women who are victims of domestic violence. She wouldn't want to do a video like about gardening because you want to train the algorithm to what your account's about. And I do recommend, if you're trying to do something, if you're trying to promote something, that you start, if you have a TikTok account or an Instagram account or YouTube account that you've used it to search stuff and scrolling and all that, you want to set up a brand new account because you want to train the algorithm so the algorithm knows what to send you. Because if you're getting on like TikTok and you're searching all these things and you're looking at all these kinds of different videos and stuff, the algorithm is not going to know what to send you. So you do want to set up a new account, and that you can do whatever you want. But from doing this for a long time, and especially on TikTok, the algorithm is so sensitive. You want to set up a account just specifically for what you're doing so you can train the algorithm so the algorithm knows what to send you. I'm giving you some really good tips here. Good morning. Is it Brent Benjamin? Where are you coming in from? And this is all stuff that I've paid. I personally spent over $100,000 to get around different people and learn from them. Good morning, Ann. A lot of people, and I did a video I put on my TikTok account. You don't have your account set up correctly. So if you're trying to do this for anything, good morning, Leroy. And when I say to people, well, why are you on social media? Most people don't want to answer. Good morning, Sinami. Is that what people call you? And unfortunately, a lot of people are not using it correctly. They're spamming people all over the place. You don't want to do that. And that repels people. And I've learned an attraction marketing strategy that you can track people to you so you don't have to go chasing. Good morning, Gordy. Good morning, Purposeful Pivot. What do people call you? So you don't want to, you want to set up your account correctly. And I do have the video. It's on my TikTok account. I put it on Instagram as well. So the second part of this is you spend an hour doing 3 videos. You do want to make sure the videos are congruent to what you're doing. If your account's, like the woman who's been on my live, she's got a nonprofit that supports women who are victims of domestic violence. If she goes and does a video about something else and puts it on her account, she's going to confuse people. And the algorithms, you need to train them on whatever platform you're on. I can tell you TikTok is more sensitive than any of them. Okay, so the third step of this in this 2-hour workday is respond to comments and emails. Now, if you're new, you may not have any. And in the beginning, you may not be getting anybody, and nobody might be coming to your content, your account. And I do, good morning, Rhonda. I do suggest if you're trying to use social media for anything, that you start a new account. Because if you're using an account you've been scrolling on and you're looking at all kinds of videos and looking at some other stuff, the algorithm, you have to train the algorithm. It's not going to know what to send you. And I do suggest too that you also pick one platform, pick something you like, because if you don't like it, you won't stick to it. But these are the 3 basic steps: 30 minutes posting free ads, an hour creating 3 pieces of content, 3 videos. I've tested it myself. 3 is the sweet spot. And then 30 minutes answering comments and emails. Now, if you're new, you may not have any comments or emails. And you may not be getting anybody to your account. I mean, this does take time. Good morning. Is it J-Rock? It takes time to build an audience. And, after you've been and the consistency, my mentor just was talking about that this morning, about being consistent. You can get this down to 2 hours a day, but you got to show up every day. When I say every day, I mean 7 days a week. I mean, you'll never get anyone to follow you on social media. Good morning, Robert. People want to know that you're going to show up every single day. And if you don't show up, and most people I talk to, they're not getting the results they want because they're not consistent. I can go look at their account. Nobody's going to follow you. They'll go find somebody who does show up. Good morning, Peanut. Where are you coming in from? So consistency is important. And you can get down to 2 hours a day, but it's 7 days a week. I've been here every day now. Actually, Thursday, it'll be 3 months that I've been live streaming every day. I'm here every day at 10 a.m. Eastern time. I was here yesterday. I'm here today. I'll be here tomorrow. Good morning, Macy. Good morning, great day. Where are you coming in from? And a lot of people come on these lives. So let me just put this down. This is the 2-hour workday. If somebody wants to screenshot that, you can get this down to 2 hours a day. But in the beginning, if you've never done this before, it may take you longer. You might be slower. And the more you do something, the better you get at it, the faster you get. And I've been doing this. I mean, I've cut over 5,000 videos across multiple platforms. I've been doing this a long time. I am on multiple platforms because I've been doing this so long. If you're new, I do suggest you do one and you stick with that one until you master it. If you don't like it, pick something you like, because if you don't like it, you probably won't stick to it. Good morning, Dilly. Good morning, Christine. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Good morning, Cherries Victor. Is that what people call you? If you're not consistent, you're not going to get anyone to follow you. And there's a lot of people I talk to, they're not consistent. They're not getting the results that they want. Good morning, Christine. They're not getting the results they want because they're not consistent. Very hard to get anybody to follow you if you're not consistent. And my mentor was just talking about that this morning. We have a blueprint we're following. It's a 2-hour workday blueprint. We've got over 56,000 people in our community. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I do believe most of you are on social media because you're either looking for a way to make money from home or you've been trying. Good morning, Edward. Good morning, user. Good morning, what? Good morning, Michael. Because you're either trying and you're not getting the results that you want, or you're looking for a way to make money from home. Thank you, Michael, for liking my live. I really appreciate it. And thank you for reposting it. And anybody else, if you want to like it or repost my live, that really helps my account out. If you have any questions, put them in the comments, or if there's something you're trying to figure out, I'd be glad to. I mean, I could do a training for it on here if it's something I've done. If it's not something I've done, I don't think it's ethical to train or teach on something you haven't done. Good morning. Is it Rancher Sandy? Do people call you Sandy? Are you a rancher? I'm going to assume that. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. That's one question I don't get many people answering me. The other question I really don't get people responding is, how much time a day do you spend on social media? Good morning, Tom. Now, I'm on social media every day, but in like a live stream for like an hour but every day, I'm getting paid for it. And in fact, TikTok is paying me for these lives. I got monetized recently on TikTok. I was monetized on YouTube. I'm trying to get that back. But most platforms will pay you. I'd be monetized on Instagram, but they discontinued their program. Good morning, Betty, where are you coming in from? But you can get, and it's another stream of income, and another thing that my mentors taught me, to create multiple streams of income. And when I was working a job, I never thought about that. Having more than one stream of income. And then if you have one stream of income and you lose that stream of income, you're screwed. And that's what happened to me. Good morning, Kitty. Gerald, you're saying, I want to be successful in social media world to ensure livable income and pursue a passion to assist people in their lives. Gerald, how to repost your video. It's a little different on Gerald on YouTube. If you just like it, because it's probably too much for me to try to explain it. There's a button below the video that says share it. That's how you would share it to another platform. It's a little different on YouTube, but if you want to share that and like the video, there is below the video somewhere. I'm not sure exactly where it is on my YouTube channel, but there's a thing there that says share. Yeah, and I've been doing this. It was 14 years in September. I haven't worked a job in over 9. And one of the things I've learned, I've learned a lot of stuff, is to create multiple streams of income. Because I know when I had a job and I lost my job and I couldn't find another one, that was my only stream of income, I was screwed. So that is one thing that I've learned from my mentor. She's taught me how to make recurring income too. And she's done, this is somebody that's made $8 million like in the last 3 years. Good morning, Lois. I do believe that by the end of this year, and we're less than 90 days left to this year, she'll probably be at 3 or 4 million. Good morning, Dreamweaver. This is simple. And there's a lot of people that get on these lives and you're working 2 jobs because you can't make ends meet. So you have no time to spend with your family or to do anything else. And I had a guy, Hank, that came on here, and he said he works 2 jobs. We have a woman in our community. Her name is Amy. She's a single mom. She was working 2 jobs. She was exhausted. One of them was a waitress job, and I've never done that kind of work, but I would think that could be really exhausting because you're on your feet all day. And she was exhausted and didn't have any time to spend with her kids. She started doing digital marketing, and now she's left both of those jobs. She's actually making more money doing digital marketing than she was working from 2 jobs. Good morning, Pancakes. What do people call you? Good morning, Tom. Good morning, Mac Breck. Is that what people call you? And this industry can change your life. It's changed mine. I've had days where I've made more money in a single day than I made in a month when I was working a job. Good morning, Watch Now. Good morning, Tom. It can change your life like it's changed so many, but the people that are being successful with this, they're coachable, they're consistent, they show up every day. This is when I say every day, and I'm here every day live streaming 7 days a week, and a lot of people aren't consistent. I can go look at somebody's social media account and I can tell they're not consistent. You'll never get anybody to follow you if you're not consistent. People want to know that you're going to show up every day. Good morning, Lorenzo. Antonia, is that what people call you? Good morning, Tom. Good morning. I'm not going to try that. Good morning, Bernie. But anyway, you can make an income. You can turn your social media profiles into an ATM. You can turn your phone into an ATM. and nobody wants. No, good morning, Lisa. Nobody wants to seemingly answer, but how much time do you spend on social media every day? The few people that have answered me, the one person, she was really honest. She said she spends way too much time on social media. Another guy yesterday told me he spends 6 hours a day on social media. I don't spend 6 hours, but the time I'm on social media, I'm making money. And TikTok pays me. I'm monetized over here. I'm trying to get my monetization back on YouTube. And actually, on YouTube, I've made over 5 figures just from the monetization. And YouTube's program is a little different than TikTok. Good morning, Jerry. TikTok is constantly sending me different things, but nobody seems to, my time's productive. If you're spending, like the guy yesterday said he spends 6 hours a day. The other woman, that was a couple weeks ago, that said she spends way too much time on social media. Why not get paid for it? Because I'm just not aimlessly scrolling. I'm on social media and making money doing it. Good morning, Blue Rush Libra. Good morning, Diane. If you're jumping on, where you're coming in from, if anybody has any questions, drop them in the comments. And Gerald, I don't know if you're still there, but try that. And the like thing, there's a like thing below. And this is on YouTube. It's a little different on TikTok. Below the actual video, there's a thing to like it, to comment. And there should be a button there that says share. And that's when we say repost it, share to another platform, or share it with a friend or something. Thank you, Michael, for liking the video. You got the #1 gift badger. Michael's a pro, a professional, if there is such a thing, live liker, video liker. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Agnes. What part of the world are you coming in from? I'd love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. If anybody has a question, drop in the comments. Good morning, Flex. If you're trying to figure something out, I'd be glad to do a training on one of these if it's something I've done. I don't think it's ethical to train or teach on something you haven't done. But I most likely, if I haven't done it, I can give you a resource. Good morning, Ronnie. Good morning, Deb Viper. Let me know where you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. I'm about 40 or 50 minutes outside the city of Philadelphia. It's about a 2.5 hour ride to New York City from where I'm at. So if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. When I was talking today, I was sharing what our 2-hour workday consists of. You can get this down to 2 hours. And there was somebody else asking me, she wanted more information. You can go to payudaily.com. That's my website. I have a free PDF that outlines the blueprint, the 2-hour workday. Good morning, Anne. The PDF is yours to keep. If you go through the material, watch the videos, the page, and my email. If you have questions, you can respond back to my email. But the woman who asked, you want to make sure you get all your information so you can make an educated decision. Good morning, King Asia, bro. Okay. Maybe my brother is or not. I mean, he might think so. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. Good morning, Lori. Glory 5080. Where are you coming in from? Love to thanks, Michael, for liking the live. Tim says, I don't know how much time I spend on social media. I assume it's a lot. It's slightly informative. And Tim, there's a lot of people, they're getting on, and I call it scrolling. You're just kind of looking at different stuff. And I do think it's addicting to a certain point. People are spending a lot of time, and then, you may only say you're going to get on for 15 minutes or half an hour, and then that turns into an hour, and then turns into 2 hours. And the one guy I had on here yesterday was telling me he spends 6 hours a day. That's a lot of time. And I don't spend 6 hours a day because I've got a blueprint I'm following, and I get my activities done in a couple of hours. Mine's over 2 hours because I do these live streams for an hour. And that's an hour of my day. But when I'm done here, when I end this live, I'm done for the day. And yeah, good morning, Eric. You have to do this 7 days a week. If you're trying to build an audience on social media, you have to show up every day. Most people aren't consistent. But I haven't worked a job in over 9 years. I've been doing this for 14 years. It was 14 years in September. Good morning, Annie. And I've had days in this industry where I've made more money in a day than I made in a month when I was working on social media. So, and anybody can do this. Gerald's saying, what are the best times to broadcast? Do you take world time zones under consideration when broadcasting? Now, Gerald, what my mentor told me, and I'll tell you, is to pick a set time on my TikTok profile. I've been doing this at 10 a.m. every day, and I've been doing this now. It'll be 3 months next week. There's a little, and most of the platforms, there's not much room. TikTok has the least amount. I put on there, I go live every day at 10 a.m. Eastern. You want to pick a set time and make sure you're doing that at the same time every day. It doesn't matter. I don't worry about the time zones or anything like that. That's what my mentor taught me. That's what she's done. And she's the one, and she went live every day, at the same time. I don't think it was 10 a.m. She went live every day for 2 years, and she's now made $8 million in the last 3 years. The consistency, you picking a time that you let people know, put it on. If you're using TikTok, if you're on YouTube or you're on Instagram, whatever platform, make sure you let people know you're going to go live every day in the time, and then stick to that schedule. And yeah, some things may come up. Now I'm on almost 3 months of this. I haven't missed something. I did have one day where I was on here and I was almost 11 o'clock. I was almost an hour. One of the smoke detectors went off in my house. There was no fire. There was no smoke detector. It was super loud. So I had to get off of that. And actually had to call an electrician to get somebody out here to fix it, because it shouldn't have been going off. There was no smoke or anything. But that's about the only time that I haven't been here. And yes, some stuff may come up. But if you don't establish with your audience that you're going to be there and show up every day, it gets really hard to get people to follow you. So if you want to live stream every day, that's what my mentor told me. Pick a time and then put that on your social media profile. Now there are different restrictions on platforms. On TikTok, I think, and some of them you have to have a certain amount of subscribers before you can go live. I was, getting close to 100,000 followers when I started doing this. So that wasn't a problem. But if you have less, TikTok, I'm pretty sure it's 1,000 followers before you can get live stream. I'm not sure about YouTube. It's probably got something to do with around 1,000 subscribers, and they may want you to have so much watch time. I know for their monetization program, and all the platforms, you got to meet a criteria. Good morning, no regrets. Where are you coming in from? Good morning, sad girl. Where are you coming in from? But that's what my mentor taught me. That's what I've done. So pick a time, put it on your whatever social media profile you're going to live stream on, and let people know when you're going live. And of course, there may be instances, and I try to really make a point, except for that day with the smoke detector, to be here. And there may be some things, but I was already broadcasting. I think I was 40 minutes into it. So I had to end it because there's no way anybody could hear me. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, VBW. Where are you coming in from? And live streaming video, and I know when I first started doing this, my mentor told me video marketing is really powerful, and it really is, but live streaming takes it up a notch. I mean, there's things I say on this live stream that there's really no time in a video because I'm trying to cover a topic, and people can get to know you. You can really get to know your audience, what your audience wants, what your audience needs. And I do believe that most of you are on here because you're looking for ways to make money from home, or you've been trying and you're not getting the result that you want. But a lot of people, when I ask, why are you on social media? Most people don't seem to want to answer. And the other question I ask is, how much time do you spend on social media every day? And that's another one that people aren't jumping up and down to answer. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, JC. So I've been doing this now. It was 14 years in September. I haven't worked a job in 9. This industry can change your life. But it is, the consistency, showing up every day. When I say every day, 7 days a week, and you're basically trading 7 days a week. And then when you start to get established, now my mentor's only going live maybe once or twice a week to get some traction, get some people following you. You want to be building your email list because you don't own your social media accounts. Good morning, Carrie. Then you can change things up. But if you're trying to get traction, good morning, Kevin. I know a lot of people most people I talk to, they're not consistent. And if you're not consistent, you're never going to get the results you want. It's very hard to get people to follow you if you don't show up every day. People want to know you're going to show up every single day. And most people I talk to, if I go over to their social media profiles, I can tell that they're not consistent. Somebody just liked it. I'm not sure who, but thank you. Good morning, Marie. Good morning, Laura. Good morning, Sad Girl. What do people call you? But I do believe most of you are on here because you're looking for a way to make money from home, or you've been trying. Good morning, Dan, and you're not getting the results that you want. And there's a lot of people I've met that are working 2 jobs. Some people even working 3 jobs. And I did that at one point a long time ago when I still work in a job. I worked a part-time job, a full-time job, and I was putting myself through college, and it's exhausting. And there's people that get on here. I had a guy, Hank, I haven't seen him in a while, tell me he works 2 jobs. There's people in our community that have worked 2 jobs. A lot of them have left their jobs. And then we have a woman, Amy, who was working 2 jobs. She's a single mom. She never had time for her kids. She never had time to do anything else because she was so exhausted. And she started doing digital marketing, and now she's left both those jobs. She's actually making more money from doing digital marketing than she was working 2 jobs. And she's got time. It's just not about money. It's time freedom too. And the other thing you get is peace. Good morning, Fab Tees. And most people won't ever know what that's like. Good morning, Janet. You can get on so many of the people that I've met since I started doing this. They have the time and the money to do what they want, and they have peace. And the peace you can't put a price tag on. Thank you, Michael, for liking the live. I really appreciate it. Anybody else wants to like the live, I'd really appreciate it. If you got a question, drop in the comments. My questions that nobody seems to want to answer is, why are you on social media? And then the other one, how much time a day do you spend on social media? There was a guy, Tim, today, that said he's not really sure. Somebody yesterday, he told me he spends 6 hours a day on social media. That's a lot. Good morning, Sean. I don't spend that much time. There's stuff that I have to get done, but I'm getting paid for it. Like TikTok is paying me for this live. If you're spending that much time on social media, why not get paid? You can turn your profile, your phone into an ATM. It is a high income skill. You can learn in 2 weeks, but it takes longer to master it. Good morning, Jazz. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. If you have any questions, there's something you're trying to figure out. Gerald, let me know. I don't know if you're still on, but if you found the button, how to do that on YouTube, it's below the actual video. TikTok, it's different. And there's a lot more people that tend to get on my lives on TikTok. I do think TikTok is the easiest platform I've seen in the 14 years I've been doing this. I've seen people in this industry that have never gotten any results get on TikTok and get leads and sales. Good morning, Freedom Matters. Thank you for liking the live. I do believe a lot of people had this. It's a mindset thing. You don't really believe you can do this. I mean, this business is simple, but it's not easy. And you have to learn. It's a mindset and skill set because the crap that we feed ourselves, and somebody probably needs to hear this today. It's your birthright to be wealthy. Good morning, Savory Cuisine. It's my birthright to be wealthy. God didn't mean for anybody to be broke or living in poverty, and yet so many people are. And most people, if you had an emergency, most people don't even have $1,000 aside in a bank account because most people are living paycheck to paycheck. And how many people keep saying, "Oh, well, I'm broke." Well, one of the first things you want to do is you want to learn to change your mindset. Stop saying you're broke, because what you plant in your mind is what you get. And if you keep saying that, you're just going to get more of it. And a really good thing to feed your mind, go over to YouTube, search The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale and start listening to that. And I know the first time I heard that, I thought it was so profound. A friend of mine, Keisha, shared that with me like many years ago. And I listened to that like every day for a year. It can be life-changing, but what you plant in your mind is what you get. Gerald, you're saying, be the boss network, ? I don't know what you mean. You can explain yourself. And I'm not sure why you're writing your name and then the question. I can't see your name, Gerald. On TikTok, or not on TikTok, on YouTube, if you don't comment, I can't see you or say your name or anything, because YouTube does not show me that unless people comment. TikTok does. Good morning. Is it Phoebe? Where are you coming in from? But Most people keep going around saying that all the time, and if you keep saying you're broke, you're just going to get more of that. If you keep saying you can't do something, you're just going to get more of that. What you plant in your mind is what you get, and I found that to be very true. If you want to feed your mind with good things, because part of this is mindset, and as a mentor of mine, Doug had said to me, it's mindset and skill set, and you have to master both. If you don't master your mind, it'll master you, and most people are letting their minds master them, because if you keep saying you're broke, you're just going to keep getting that more again. And I can't tell you how many times I've used that. Good morning, Karen. When I've needed some money, instead of saying, I don't have the money, I started training my mind to say, how can I, if I needed $500, how can I come up with $500? Learn to train your mind. And no, magically the $500 doesn't show up, but what you plant in your mind is what you get. That's 100% true. If you want something good to listen to, go over to YouTube, search The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, and start listening to that. Good morning, Tucker. Start feeding your mind good things. And you may or may not have heard of this, but you're the sum of the 5 people you hang around the most with. If you're hanging around with 5 broke people, you'll be the 6th. Good morning, Liz. And that's something else I've learned since I've been in this industry. Who you hang out with matters. Good morning, Martin. Good morning, Juanita. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. I'd love to know why you're on social media. Good morning, Nuki. And I do believe most of you and most people, for whatever reason, you don't want to say why you're on social media. Is because you're looking for a way to make money from him, or you've been trying and you're not getting the results you want. Yeah, and a lot of people, the other thing, when I asked, and nobody seems to answer, how much time a day do you spend on social media? And I had a guy yesterday that told me he spends 6 hours a day. That's a lot. And I don't spend that much time on social media, but when I'm on social media, I'm getting paid. TikTok is paying me for these live streams. And I'm not spending 6 hours a day. It's somebody else that she was being honest, admitted. She said, I spend way too much time on social media. I do think it can get addicting. You get on and you start looking at all this stuff, and you say you're only going to stay on for half an hour, and then it's an hour, and then 2 hours, and 3 hours. And the guy yesterday saying he spends an average 6 hours a day. These live streams, I think people really like these live streams because you can jump on them. You don't have to do anything. You don't have to say anything. You don't have to show your face. There's no accountability. You can jump off mine and get on someone else's, and that's what people do. Because me and many of my colleagues, I live stream every day. But there's no, unless you're doing what I'm doing, you're hosting one, there's no accountability. And a lot of people, for whatever reason, don't want to say that. Good morning. Is it Dane? But I do believe that. And there's some people that I see that keep coming on my lives every single day. And then there's new people. So, because TikTok, when you start live streaming, it starts sending notifications out to your followers. YouTube does not do that. Good morning, Nicholas. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I live on the East Coast of the United States. Good morning, FTW. What do people call you? Good morning. Love my dogs. I'm a dog lover too. I've had 3 dogs. I don't have one right now. And every time I think about getting a puppy, because on social media, there's all these breeders and these puppies are so darn cute. I've gone through that with having a puppy. Having a puppy is like having a baby. And every time I start thinking about it, and they're a lot of work, then I change my mind. I have had 3 dogs. How much they add to our lives. Good morning, Bunny. And being a kid we never had a dog when I was growing up because there were 7 of us, and my mother knew she'd be the one to end up taking care of it. So we had some goldfish and a turtle, and they are easier to take care of. And my mother was the one that ended up taking care of them. Thank you, Michael. Again, thank you for liking my live. I really appreciate it. Michael's a professional live liker. If there was a thing I could give you, Michael, that says that, I would. But if you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. I was talking today. I broke down our 2-hour workday. You can get this down to 2 hours a day. In the beginning, if you're new, good morning, sir. You may take you longer. Because when you're learning something, it takes you longer, and as you do something more, the more you do it, the better you get, the faster you get. Good morning, Quincy and Clove. I'm going to assume that's 2 people. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. I do online marketing and making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. And I do believe, when I ask people, why are you on social media? I'm on social media because I do online marketing, making money from home, and I teach other people how to do the same thing. Last month, September, was my 14-year anniversary. I have not worked a job in over 9 years. I don't need a job. I don't want a job. And the job I lost, I had a 2 to 3 hour commute, which I don't miss. Spending that amount of time in a car every day, going back and forth to work, and then spending 40 hours at the job and that much time in your car. Thank you, Michael. Good morning, Arthur. Um, good morning, Freedom After 50. What do people call you? Good morning, REQ. It looks like a bunch of numbers and letters. And TikTok does do that. If you set an account up on TikTok and you don't put your name, they'll assign you some numbers. And I did do a video on my TikTok account probably about 2 weeks ago, how to set up your profile, because if you're using social media for anything, you want to set it up correctly, and attract people to you. And so when people come to your account, they know what your account's about. And on TikTok, you can't put a clickable link in your bio you'll get to 1,000 followers. But a little trick you can try, I've done this in the past, now I haven't done this in a long time, is if you switch to a business account, it can't, and it's done it for me. I don't know if it'll still let you do it. You can try, put a website in there. If you switch to a business account, if anybody tries that and that works or doesn't work, let me know. I've done that a number of times. I haven't needed to do this because now I've lost 10 accounts on TikTok. This account, I've been posting on this since last June. I've got over 1,000 followers, but you can try that and see, because a clickable link is easier. So when people do go to your account and they go to your profile, if they want to look at your website, all they got to do is click on it and I'll take it over to them. So yeah, you can try that. I've done that in the past and got a clickable link when I didn't have 1,000 followers. But TikTok, I'm pretty sure you definitely have to have 1,000 followers to get a clickable link. And Gerald was asking about live streaming. If you want to live stream, you have to have 1,000 followers. Now, if you want to get monetized, you need 10,000 followers, and you need to have had at least 100,000 views over the last 30 days on your account. That's how I got monetized on TikTok. They're paying me to do these lives. Good morning, Mr. Malik. You just got a number 2 gift badger. Thank you, Michael, again for liking it. Good morning. You don't have your name on that. And there are people doing that on TikTok. If you don't put your name in it, they're just going to give you a user number. A lot of people don't put their name or a picture, which you want to. Corinthians, good morning. You want to let people know, because with all the fake accounts and AI, put a good picture of yourself. People want to know you're real. And if you're not putting your name or a picture, and I had a guy who, it was probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, he private messaged me on TikTok. He didn't have his name on his account. He didn't have a picture. And he wanted me to do a personalized video telling him about me and the business so he could feel more comfortable moving forward. He's got nothing. He's not telling me a thing, and he wanted me to do that. And if you're want to do this correctly, don't do personalized videos for people because they need to be convinced. I don't convince people. If you need to be convinced, this probably isn't for you. And yeah, unfortunately, there are scams in this industry. It gives the whole industry a bad rap, but you got to get around the right people. Good morning, Barb. Good morning, Chef London. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. If you've got questions, drop in the comments or something. Isha, you just got a number 2 gift badger. Drop in the comments or something you're trying to figure out. I'd be glad to do a training on one of these, not today because getting close to an hour here, on another day. If it's not something I've done, I don't think it's ethical for me to train or teach or something, but I can probably give you a resource. Good morning, it's the Team Negro. I can probably give you a resource. I did have a guy that got on my live stream on YouTube and wanted to know, he wanted me to do a video about CPA marketing. I know what that is. I've never done, I have an idea how it works, but I've never really made money with it. So I did give him some resources, because if you really want to learn something, good morning, Penny, you need to get around somebody who's done it and learn the correct way to use it. Because if you're not using it correctly, you're not going to get what you want out of it. And if you learn how to use it correctly, that works. If you're not, there's a lot of people spamming on social media. If you're taking a link to anything, a video, a website, and you're them commenting on somebody's videos or their posts, that's spam. If you're private messaging people with it, that's spam. I get people that do that. And I instantly, I block you. Good morning, user 58, blah, blah, blah. Where are you coming in from? I just block them. I don't have time for it. I spend too much time creating content and being here. If somebody's going to be negative or they're going to start spamming, and most people, if you don't know, and in the beginning, I didn't know. I had people telling me to spam my links all over the Facebook groups. That doesn't really work. Yeah, you might get some leads and maybe some sales, but there's so many people doing that. You want to learn the correct way to do something. And my mentor in this program has taught me that to learn how to use social media correctly, build an email list, make recurring income, create multiple streams of income. And that's when I still had a job. That's something I never thought about. And my job was my only stream of income. Good morning, Mark. And when I lost that, I was screwed. And if your job's your only source of income and you lose it, or you only have one stream of income and you lose it, you're screwed. And I was screwed. So I never do that again. And I've learned how to create multiple streams of income. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. Love to know why you're on social media. Most people don't want to seem to answer that. And the other question is, how much time a day do you spend on social media? And see if anybody wants to answer that. Yesterday, a guy told me he spends 6 hours a day on social media. That's a lot. And he's not getting paid for it. And I don't spend 6 hours a day on social media, and I get paid for the time I'm on here. In fact, not YouTube, TikTok's paying me for this live stream. Good morning, user 5888. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. If you're spending, and a lot of you, and I do think it can be addicting because you say you're only going to get on social media for like 30 minutes. The 30 minutes turns into an hour or two. Good morning, Carolyn. And then you're on. And like the guy yesterday, he said he spends 6 hours a day. I do think that's a lot. You're new, and is it Lulu? You're new in Texas. What part of Texas do you live in? I have my sister lives in Houston, although they're in Italy right now on vacation. And I've been to Houston a couple times. And the one good thing about that, I know for her, because we have family on the East and West Coast, it's only, oh, you're in Dallas, Fort Worth. Okay. My niece lives in Dallas too. Texas is kind of in the middle of the country. So if you go to the East Coast, it's about halfway. If you go to the West, I know when I fly, I've gone to the West Coast. That's like a 5 to 6 hour flight each way. Good morning, Britain. And the time change, they're 3 hours ahead of us. So if you're jumping on, good morning, RG. Let me know where you're coming in from. You just got a number 3 badger, Lulu. Hi, Deborah. How you doing? Thanks for jumping on. Happy Saturday. And Deborah has been on my lives before. Thanks for showing up. Yeah, and if you're on my YouTube live and you don't comment, I can't see you because YouTube doesn't show me that. TikTok does. Good morning, Teresa. Good morning, Flappa. Good morning, Karen. But just talking about now today, I have a blueprint I'm using. I just went over the 2-hour workday and broke it down. If you've got questions, put them in the comments. You need help with something. Lulu, I'm just trying to figure that out. TikTok seems to have a system that when people come on, if you like the live and then there's other badge levels, if somebody gives me a gift, they sort them out like the number 1, the number 2, number 3. If you go up to the very top of my profile on TikTok, you can see some people's pictures, and then there's a number 6 right now. If you click on that, it lists out like who the number 1 person is, who the number 2. And I think they're counting likes and gifts and comments and that stuff. And then they rate you. You just like the live. Now, Michael, who's been on here, Michael has liked the live a lot. He's the number 1 badger. TikTok does that. YouTube doesn't do anything like that. I mean, the platforms are different. I like both of them. I'm on Instagram too. I spend the most time on those 3 platforms. I've been on YouTube since 2013. And TikTok, I mean, they do have a monetization program. I got approved for it, but they're constantly sending me things to try to get me to do that. They're paid, like they want me to do videos about other things, which you don't want to do that on your account, because if I do a video talking about something else, it confuses the algorithm. You want to train the algorithm. And if I do a video about Halloween, that's not what my account's about. And TikTok, out of all the platforms, I think is more sensitive. And I know I'm guilty of going to YouTube searching for stuff. So YouTube will bring up other videos. I mean, I've had my YouTube channel since 2013. If you're new, to get traction, if you do have an account that you scrolled on, you really want to set up another account, so you can train the algorithm so it knows what to send you. And if you're searching on an account about all these other, and you're looking at all these other videos about different things, that the algorithm is not going to know what to send you. So it is better, if you're trying to use social media for anything and you have an account, you've been scrolling on, to set up another account. And I've lost 10 accounts on TikTok. Thank you, Nuki, for joining my fan club. I appreciate that. You just sent, yeah, Nuki, you just sent a heart. Thank you so much. Good morning. And you're now the number 3 gift badger, but you have to train the algorithm. And if you're searching other topics and stuff, it's not going to know what to send you. And Gerald, you're saying I'm a Zamas in the badge list. Well, actually, if you're talking about YouTube, YouTube doesn't have a badge list, so I don't know what you're talking about. That makes no sense to me. If you want to explain, go ahead. And Nuki's going crazy. If anybody, Michael's sharing the live too. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And yeah, and YouTube does do that. If you go up to the top, you can see there's people's pictures up there. Good morning, sweet Jesus. If you're jumping on, let me know where you're coming in from. And Nuki, thank you for liking the live. Thank you for sharing it. I really appreciate it. Michael, thank you for liking the live. But I do believe, and Gerald, I don't know what that means. If you want to explain yourself, there's no badge list on YouTube, unless that's something new, and I don't think that it is. And TikTok does have a badge thing. TikTok does things, and they can be adding things to at any time. Good morning, Gloria. Where are you coming in from? But I do believe, and ask people, how much time do you spend on social media? Most people don't want to be honest about it. And like the guy yesterday saying he spends 6 hours a day on social media. That's a lot. I don't spend that much time. I get paid for the time I'm on social media. TikTok is paying me for these live streams. They have a lot of different ways to monetize. They constantly send me stuff. George, you're saying you mean TikTok? Yeah, TikTok does a badge thing, and there's people on my TikTok right now. They're getting gift badgers, and Nuki, because you've liked the live, you shared it, and then they put that at the top of your live. Now that's when you end the live, that's gone. That's just for that particular live. And then tomorrow when I go live again, they'll start another one, and depending who's on here. Thank you, Michael, for liking the live. Michael's like the pro at liking the live. And I did look at the analytics. I was wondering if they kept track in your analytics on TikTok, how many times somebody liked the live. They don't. They do record. I can see the amount of time somebody's been on a live, that they stayed on the live, but they don't show you the number of likes. Good morning, Monica. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. Thanks, Michelle. Thanks for jumping on. Thanks for liking the live. Michael, again, thanks for liking the live. Nuki, thank you. You're running neck and neck with Michael today, but I think because Michael's on here, missed a lot of the time. Good morning. Happy holiday. If you're jumping on, let me know what part of the world you're coming in from. If you've got any questions, put them in the comments now, because I did commit to doing these for an hour, and I'm almost up at an hour. I did break down, this is my whiteboard, the 2-hour workday, and my handwriting can be a little sloppy, but it's simple. There's 3 steps to it. And in the beginning, if you're new, it's probably going to take you longer than 2 hours. You're in Louisiana. You're close to New Orleans. Been to New Orleans a couple times. Nice city, good food. I stayed and there's a Sheraton. I think it's on Canal Street, the main drag there. I went there a few times, actually, when I was still working a job. In that job, I actually got to travel to a lot of places. I worked in cancer research before I started doing this. Good morning, Tony. Good morning, Carol. So I'm almost at an hour here. So if you have some questions, drop them in the comments. Or if you have something you're trying to figure out, come back tomorrow. Yeah, really great food. There's some places that we went on in the French Quarter. Good morning, multi-dog. I'm going to assume you have more than one dog. One of my mentors, who I've known her since I really started this, and she's been doing this for over 25 years. She moved from Connecticut. She's from New York. She moved from Connecticut to New Orleans. She has a mentor that lives there. Is it Sidell? I mean, I think that's outside New Orleans. She's living outside the city of New Orleans, but she's really close. Um, Gerald, if you want access to, well, the training I did today, that if you want to watch that about the 2-hour workday, you can go back and watch that. But if you go to my website, I just put it in the chat there, put your email address in, you can get more information, watch the videos, read the page. You'll get an email from me with a link in the email with my PDF that outlines the blueprint, gives you a lot more detail. You can download and save it. That's yours to keep. If you've got questions about the program, you can respond back to the email. The PDF is free, the program's not, but that's what I do. It's digital marketing, and I make 100% profit. There's different business models. Maybe tomorrow I'll get into the different business models because I'm at an hour. Joe, go to payudaily.com. The link is right there. And I'm going to end this now. It's over an hour. Thank you all. Thank you, Michael, for liking the live. Thank you, Nikki, for liking it. I will see you guys tomorrow. Be back at 10 a.m. Eastern.